Another mass shooting. Women and children are going missing, and who's going to protect the matriarch? All of that and more on Brewhaha, the truth. Don't forget to click the like button and to hit the subscribe for more exclusive content on the truth. So we've talked about things that are just kind of whirling in the pool right now: matriarchy, our children, um, 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 brown people being used. And I don't just mean black people, or however you choose to classify it. Right now is not the time. When you see brown babies, I'm talking about those children that were in Pennsylvania, were they? All of the children not returned to their parents, the 85,000 children the Congress is arguing that they can't fucking find. I am, and then here's the catch-all that brings all in together. Not even weeks prior to this did I watch the information given about how they were basically taking children from sometime in the 1800s to the 1920s or 40s, bringing them over to Ellis Island. How do you manage to transport 125 children from one place? It's a lot of fucking children with no parents to care. And you took them and utilized them for repopulation. Those, I think I said this before, all those baby doors, things y'all see in the hospital, dropping baby off in a safe space. That shit is not new. It's not original. They've been doing it. And so to see the situation with the children being transported from other countries to populate, and I mean like the world, they were spread out, given different given different nationalities to appropriate the paperwork. Then we know our youth go missing, our young men go missing or killed, their bodies are buried without the organs. The situations are turned up, like the one mother who is, and she's in the Shanquilla video that I'm telling you about. It discusses how the young lady who was supposedly had died drunk driving, and she was with her friends, and when the mother spoke with the mother of the boyfriend or friend of a boy, I mean, the young man that was supposed to be with her, he was allegedly coming out of heart surgery, and then you could hear him screaming and yelling. So either way, going through the video the gentleman put up, there were at least 11 immediate red flags, like the fact that she was supposedly had no legs, no arms, and so she had to cremate her child. But then the body tag was put on the arm of the girl. How'd she do that with no arms? Then, there being the father that came to the crash site repeatedly to tell the woman whose car was this car supposedly crashed, that he had a son die there, not a girl. And the mother asked what, because she went to do a memorial at the spot where the crash was. So my apologies for not being prepared with names and accuracies, but I think generally we all know the stories. And so then the mother at the end, as I'm listening, because I'm just listening, and she goes, "I've never felt my daughter was deceased. I've never felt it. I thought maybe I was crazy because I didn't think that I don't think she's gone. So where is she?" She had no proof to provide. They wouldn't provide dental records, which, by all accounts, so what happened? So then you have the young man who, now when I tell you, as a young man, I mean these are teenagers, high school students, or just young lady, very responsible, got her location on. So does the other young lady, making sure her parents knew where she was. She went to go hang with the cousin. Allegedly, the body of this young woman is still in a garbage dump. It's almost a year ago, I believe, if not. They will never recover her body in a landfill. that they waited 8 months to go search. And she was with a young boy cousin who had no answers that were valid as to what he did with this young woman's body. Then you start to think about our young men that are in this. The only way I can get rich is hip hop bullshit. I'm confused. I'm confused as to why you even let somebody make a monkey out of you in that sense to give up, literally lose your soul to gain the world. You gain the world to lose your soul. There's not enough money in the world. There's not enough money in the universe that would have me sacrifice what would be a matriarch. And these young people, these groups of people going on these trips, killing their friends and shit. What's wrong with y'all? Who's paying you? You're just not gonna tell me there's all of a sudden this major uproar of black girls that are, I mean, and when I say black girls, I mean um black girls between the ages of 14 and 32 being killed, murdered by their partners, spouses, and these ain't even, most of them ain't even husbands. They not even husbands. Disappearing, acting your children, killing your kids. Stuff we used to call the other people stuff, you know, not the us stuff. Y'all out here doing the most. And then it makes me think about Bdell and the comments he was making about us moving into this next dimension and how people they can't see untethering. And so they freak out and panic, which leads me to all the every damn day I cut the TV on is a new mass shooting some damn where in a mall, at a church, in a school, at a farm, on a donkey, on a lake. It's a mass shooting every day. Okay, okay, but we relaxing gun laws though. Okay, nice. That's how that works. And all they can say is, "Oh, the latest one, the eight people shot." Okay, the parents and the 3-year-old that passed here recently, out on a shopping trip, just normal. Oh, the suspect experienced anti-Semitism or whatever it is. So y'all just out here just everyday mass shooting people. Are you? What are you provoking people into fear back into their homes for the next round of COVID? Is that what it is? You can't go to the store. And then here's the really crazy part about it. When the shit hits home, coworkers, mother's car, shut up, middle of the damn day. All 5 of them young and dumb, 15, 16 years old. From what I hear, out of all the families, only one act like they had some sense to understand their child might have been slightly responsible for the dumb shit he just did. And you almost killed 2 innocent people. And for what? Clout? So when I sit back and I think about the rise that we're calling to women, and I think about, we it's a real concept to think about who protects the protector. Who protects the protector? We as women go about our daily lives feeding, protecting, praising, praying for, laboring, putting ourselves last, and still having to be head of the pack every fucking day. But who's protecting your protectors? I don't understand why there is such a. I mean, I do understand it, but it's a lot to go into. But on a common sense basis, on just a regular ass per day, let me look myself in the mirror basis. What I'm not understanding is where are the protectors of the protectors? So we can call to women, but it called the men. Why are there still panels where black men are saying that the root of the black society or social equality is the black woman? Why? Fucking- What have you done to the black woman to have to make her resent even fucking needing your help? Because when somebody have to all the time, they just do. It becomes ingrained in your DNA. You can take it as far back as to whatever you want to teach is. Well, we'll go back to just slavery, period. No matter where the slaves came from, no matter how it was indoctrined, no matter how the whole concept. You split the families up. You buck the men and you break them down mentally. They can't even hold their head up to the woman. She got to fucking figure it out anyway, and she got to work in the fields and nurse the babies and nurse the other babies and clean, and then at the end of the day cook and then wash the clothes and all of the things. We've been doing this shit for a long time. We probably thought we were going to get retrieval in the 1950s. Go look with that shit. I don't understand. I don't understand why there's such a loss of respect. It's one thing for you to not respect yourself, but it might be something else to respect at least the people that feed you, clothe you, pay for you. You don't even gotta like me, but you can at least respect my gangster. I talk to more women on a regular basis, and I'm one of them, honey. We've all been there. And you know how many times I have to tell a woman, you're not stupid. You're a woman. Women are emotional creatures. We're built and mapped and wired insanely, I won't say insanely different, but definitely different. The nurturing aspect and all those things. When I say emotional, I mean nurturing. I mean that. But at the same time, you can't have a full bucket constantly emptying itself out and nobody filling the bucket on the back end. While you standing back there looking at the empty bucket, kicking the bucket. That's the dumbest shit I ever seen. I've seen more black men in the past year inflict more pain and punishment on the women and children that they're supposed to fucking protect because she don't fucking want to deal with you not protecting her no more. And I said today when I was going to talk about this, I wasn't going to come from a sore place, and I'm not. What I'm coming from is a realistic place. It's a real fucking question to ask yourself as a woman, as a man, as people. What happened to respect? What happened to just making sure that you protected or gave a shit about the things that give a shit about you? And if it's not always said, or if she's got us, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of this. Remember in the movie Harlem Nights when Stella Reese is in the kitchen, Eddie Murphy. It's not those real people, but it's the characters. After he shot her pinky toe. And, she's complaining about the juice. Why you gonna leave just swallow juice? And she's, you want a sandwich, and the guys in the living room, she really is just a sweet woman. Just go apologize. And he goes in the kitchen, she's just abrasive, she's got to be strong. And then turn around, and when he walks out of the kitchen, what she do? She just breaks down and cries. I just love that little boy. That's us every day. That's women every day. Not just black women, period. Women every day. Um, the struggle to find the balance. But if you're never coming back in the kitchen to fucking apologize and genuinely mean it, all you get is that struggle case that you don't see when you walk away with the tears and all of the things. And I think that a very large part of, and I will say of our younger generation, is that there's been a generalized driving force for lack of respect, for lack of self-respect, right? Um, and it's starting to bleed through in a very unconscious and eerie way. A lot of the conversations I get from elder gentlemen that just on a daily basis, when I say elder, I mean anyone over the age of 40. I'm 42, so whatever the hell you want to look at it. But I'm trying to give a age range. I'll even say 35. I don't mean young cats. I mean, men, I guess, right? Allegedly. So 35. This is, and I've had this conversation more than once. You can't compliment a woman anymore. Everything's sexual harassment. This one gentleman stood in my job and talked about how he said to a woman, "You can go ahead, ma'am." And this young girl like to bit his entire head off in that Wawa. And the really sad ultimate outcome was that she didn't even know how to be respected because he called you ma'am. He's supposed to fucking call you. He don't know you. He don't know you, Barbara. He don't. Excuse me, bitch. Is that what you want to hear? And I think I was really astonished that maybe how adamant this. I mean, this conversation lasts a long time, and I was like trying to. Well, maybe she, well, maybe, no, no. So just no. So just regular, just ma'am. That's all you said. You didn't wink or just. And he was so distraught because he's like, well, what do I do? So then let's say you do that, you drive the younger generation to be all of the and I do not give a whoever that dumb one is with the tattoo on her neck with the gap or missing tooth, Christy BB. Okay. Publicity stunt or not, some shit's just too far. This is when you run out of self respect when you just doing anything for cash at this point. Fucking ridiculous. So so what do you just do? Just treat everybody like a city girl? I don't want to be treated like a city girl. I don't want to be treated like a city girl at all. Because at the end of the day, women don't want to be treated like a city girl. Maybe in a particular aspect of your life, okay, but not. Yes, not gonna get it. Who wants to struggle in that way? Who wants to not have a positive partnership? People are giving too much too soon of themselves before they even know who they are. Before you even know who you are, how do you know who you are by the time you're 25? You don't. Because you're gonna grow out of that 25-year-old, you're gonna grow out of that 28-year-old, you're gonna grow out of that 32-year-old mindset, you're gonna grow out of that 40-year-old mindset, and eventually you're gonna be 60 and be like, I can say what I want. Yeah, but make sure you haven't burned every bridge up until that point. That part. You should be talking to yourself, stupid. Why is there a lack of respect for self? Why is there a lack of respect for women? Why is there a lack of respect for black women, especially, obviously, that even at the age of 4, we can be so dismissed? How's it possible? The fathers that want to be mad at the mothers because they can't be the baby mama daddy no more. But you're not concerned about being an actual daddy because you killed your kid on Facebook or you threw your child out of a window at the age of 2. That shit happens. Or you shot your wife or girlfriend, I'm sorry, because she wasn't your wife, on Christmas Day in front of her children. And I knew her. Not, I knew her enough to say, hey, how you doing? Then what? And then the first thing y'all assholes do is run. Right. That part. There's a missing girl from Hampton now. I don't even think they found her or her child. She's a twin. Went missing. The the streets say the boyfriend took her down to Florida, fell to crocodiles. Not to be insensitive, but we don't know what happened. Somebody knows what happened. And no one's saying anything. This wasn't a one person operation. And then the disproportionate amount of brown women that are going missing, or not even going missing. Well, yes, going missing, but then allegedly being all of a sudden these mysterious deaths. All of a sudden these mysterious deaths. Um, it's perplexing and it's overwhelming. And I would love to say it's because we have social media now and things are being brought to the forefront that weren't able to be seen before, but that's bullshit. How can you be how can you call yourself the man, her man, a man if you are wearing the same exact emotions as the woman you're the matriarch you're supposed to be protecting? Y'all are not the same either. We ain't the same as y'all. Y'all ain't the same as us. Period. You now can get pacified with the same shit that we expect from you because we women and you not. Bottom line, stop being mad. What happened to men doing what they have to do versus what the they want to do? And then when women get out here and do what they have to do, you think it's what they want to do, and then you go crazy ham, and then you can't be a parent anymore to these children that you put on this earth, or you can't be a man of your word and want to renege on every goddamn thing. I just don't understand how it is I'm having these consistent conversations with women every day, and I'm having to say, we've all been there. We all go through it. We get that as part of growing up and all the things. And, oh, you'll have three loves in your life, and oh, heartbreak's part of the plan, and all this other bullshit. And that's cute. But I don't ever remember there being a course on how to get through disrespect from your partner. No, I don't remember going through the class that was like, you just gonna have to figure it out and still be loving, caring, feeding, financing. I'm sorry, what? I don't remember taking that course at all. I refuse to go to that college. City. And this is also being brought up, in addition to the women going missing, you just not gonna tell me there's not just, and the fact that I did give you guys quite a few examples. Where how is this happening? But no, how is it that we see it and it's not being fixed or repaired? Why is it that I have to feel the need to tell a woman rise up regardless of? There's a lot of regardless out here, and regardless of a nigga should not be one of them at all. And if it is, you're not cut from the same cloth and you're not evenly yoked. Period. And it's fine to know that and work your way out of it or work your way through it. But you damn sure absolutely need to put a foot down before you end up missing, dead. I think I was very astonished at the staggering numbers that it was given percentage wise as to like the jump in women that are gone missing that are college educated, that are financially independent, that are doing all of the safety things we're told to do to make sure we stay safe. And there's no man around to, no one to guard the matriarch. I'm not saying there's no one, but on the larger scale of things, based on what we're seeing every day, you have grown ass men with anti Semitic issues that would go into a public place and literally kill a 3-year-old child. That shit happened. I don't care how you break it down. That happened. Hey, I don't want to hear gunshot mistake, whatever. It wasn't meant for him. I didn't. Doesn't matter because it happened. Where are these? Where are the protectors of the matriarchs? And as women are coming to arise, I think that from a spiritual perspective, you are going to find anytime that you have an uprising, anytime that you have a formidable change where there is real opposition, things begin to occur. Things begin to occur to take out the competition, to take out what's in the way. That's just the law of nature, I guess, to an extent. I don't know which nature law it is, but it sounds right because it must come down. But at the same time, the very unfortunate part is that where there's a rising of the matriarch, there needs to be a rise of protectors of of hers. Um, a lot of the commentary I do hear when I am behaving and listening to conscious conversation. A lot of the comments that I read are where women are coming into this new presence and being, and they are being shunned, um, talked about, given a hard time by their partners. Wow, that's shocking. But when I find that the men that are coming into a conscious state of mind are supported by their partners. They're my girl, my girl, my girl. But when I read the comments about the women, it was I was called crazy. I was told I was going to hell. I was told I was the devil. And then we go back and we think about the concept of fear and control and how valuable a tool it is for the American industry, this great corporation called the world, to just win us like over with fear. You keep us scared of ourselves and you've done a very effective job. And then you look at the basic concepts of a fucking relationship and you're not going to tell me that fear does not abound with what I'm seeing because these women are not ending up dead and they're missing off of a one time I made a mistake or I won't do it again. They're not even old enough to have Ike and Tina turn along relationships where this shit evolved into something. But because she's given so much of herself and put the energy in the wrong fucking place. And she's doing everything she can and coming up against a brick wall. And then the brick wall becomes you. You should be happy she found something that she's elated about. Period. I'm very, very, very shocked at the probably number of women that I talk to throughout the week that share those sentiments. And it's almost like a cry for help. Well, I want to, but no, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done and you go alone. No kids, no spouse, no boyfriend, no partner, no boo thing on the side, no sugar daddy, no step kids, no foster kids, adopted kids, not your mama, your daddy, your grandmama. You stand alone. And then it's what have you done with the gifts I've given you? And you don't want to be standing there and saying, I left it all at the grave. Because when you transition to the next, what you gonna do? Life gonna work out for you. What you gonna start all over again and make it just be just as fucking hard? There are some real things happening. This is really happening. And this is the time where it's kind of like it's a really good time to just get the wind beneath your wings and ride this thing out. But it's really hard if your wings are constantly being clipped. Period. So I think I'm done ranting. But that was something that it's been kind of on my heart to get off of my chest, get off my spirit, and I don't know who needed to hear it. Um, I don't know who needed to hear it because I didn't even mean for it to go all this way. I just respect respecting yourself is most important because once you respect yourself, same thing as if you can be honest with yourself, then being honest with everyone else is just it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie to me, I'm damn sure not gonna lie to you. That's stupid. I don't even know you. I know me. I'm not lying to her. But at the same time, if you can't respect yourself, I don't know what you expect for others to do for you. And that goes for men and women. First of all, okay, it goes for men and women. I think if it started there, I think there would be a lot less of the bullshit that we're seeing and a lot more protecting of the matriarch. Respect. I don't see anybody disrespecting a big mama. Nowadays I don't know because some of y'all was crazy. But back in my day, it was never gonna happen. I wish you would go get a switch off the tree. I'm gonna whip your ass. Say it again. Say something else. Get the look off your face. Because I'm just saying there were things it didn't even have to go that far. It was a matter of you respected the matriarch, and even down to your great grandfathers. I mean, I don't know how far back it goes, y'all, but if you have a couple from a particular era, I would say more specifically, where there is, and I'll just use the example of when my great grandparents were. That was for me a model of what a marriage should be, a model of what a partnership should be. Of course, I learned later in life they had their ups and downs and ins and outs, and I was like, oh, y'all was crazy with it. I'd never know, but it was about how he respected her, and it was about how she respected him, and that to me meant a lot. That to me was the epitome of what it should be. And despite their problems or despite things that they had going on, real life things that we today do and have going on, and we just don't have as much accessibility with like cell phones and like you know before it was a little harder to catch a partner somewhere it was supposed to be, and vice versa. But you it was very different to see the level of respect one for the other, and not respect for person, husband and wife, but respect for person to person. And I just feel like if you had that kind of respect for someone, you would never kill them in front of their kids. You would never sell them. You would never take them to an island and murder them. You would never do those things if you respected someone. You wouldn't let someone that doesn't respect your car drive it because when you get it back, it's going to run up. Even if it doesn't, it's going to you. Why would you let somebody do that with your life? Why would you do that to someone with their life? So, all I'm saying is this one should probably listen to out loud with no headphones for everybody in the house. Okay. So, I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to me go on about what was felt as a concern that was going to be talked about today. So I know I got asked to 10 o'clock this morning. What you're going to talk about? I have no clue. Just I just don't know yet. It'll come, and when it did, it did. And so it was, and this was a very, um, I'm never gonna say it's hard, but it was a little anxiety ridden. Kind of once it started coming, and I realized where this was going. I was like, this gonna sound extra personal, but I'm not gonna let it, because what I'm realizing is that there are many of us in a boat at one point or another, And and no matter how many times you see your sister girlfriend go through it, the encouragement still needs to be there. No matter how many times or how long she stays, the encouragement needs to be there because it's not always there from the internal side, and it can be hard. It can be very hard. I know the clip that was put up, when I talked about, everything that women do to care for themselves, and you can't snark at that, you can't scoff at that, on some real shit outside of the aesthetic stuff, soulfully. Many women are ripped a fucking apart. And so for those that are protectors coming up, because I feel that there will be a rise of you, just understand. I believe that and in seeing things from a different light and different perspective and different viewpoint, um, it won't be as hard to it won't be as hard to soothe the beast. Um, because 9 times out of 10, most matriarchs are just sitting around waiting for someone to say, "You look nice," a kiss on the forehead, a rub on the back, without any intention behind it. Just all the candid, kind things that women like. Because as strong as we are, we're still human on this earth, and we're still women, and we still need our buckets filled. Do you know how quickly you would have your bucket filled as a man if you just respected her? Respected her. You trust her enough to pay the bills, to cook your food, to watch you sleep. But what about the rest? What about the rest that doesn't have shit to do with you? You didn't get with start dating a person that was made just for you. That person's an individual until you mold each other until one for the other, until you learn. And then sometimes you don't, and that's okay too. But who's going to protect the matriarch? That's the thing. Because a lot of matriarchs are walking off the face of this Clestine earth as far as we know it and are never seen again by their family, young and old. And it is sad, and slightly disturbing. And I think that I think after probably about the third or fourth month of seeing the increased amount of cases being discussed and talked about, and even those that were not being discussed or talked about, I think it just needs to be stated. Who is protecting the matriarch? And it starts with respect. And I'll tell you this much, if you can't respect yourself, don't get in a fucking relationship with nobody. If you got issues with you when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're not good for nobody, but you're not even good for you. How the hell you gonna be good for somebody else? That's stupid. Get yourself right first. Stop jumping in and out of relationships. What you doing? Stop. Learn to be by yourself. It's okay. Being alone and being lonely is two different things. If you're not fine being alone, then you're clutch dying to obviously fall for anything as long as someone's giving you the time of fucking day. Mm, that's not worth it. Is that worth it? Is that worth it? It's not worth it. You know it's not worth it. That's stupid. So just saying, as we are growing and glowing and all of the things and love and light and watching the world, we have the own worlds that we've made around us that we need to be repaired. There's some real conversations need to be had. And even if they don't need to be had, some real decisions need to be made. Some real decisions need to be made. Who's protecting the matriarchs? Who's respecting that she exists? Who's respecting that she's carried this thing for a long. So I'm just saying. So that's the end of my rant today. I'm sorry if anyone was like, "Oh my God, she, She doesn't have a guest again. Yeah. Namaste, squad. It's been real. Okay. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I would like to say that we love to hear from you for any ideas that you guys may have. And that we want to make sure that everybody hits the like on each video and the subscribe to make sure you're one of the subscribers for more exclusive content and for hearing what we have to say here on Brewhaha the Truth. Thank you.